Most of us are using AI for pretty simple stuff, right? Basic automation. And it can kind of feel like we're just weakening our own ability to think. But what if there's a totally different way to approach this? In this explainer, we're going to dive into how to move beyond that. How to use AI not to replace your thinking, but to actually make it deeper, sharper, and way more insightful.
I mean, get a load of this. It's a fascinating idea, and it's completely counterintuitive, isn't it? The common wisdom is that AI is just a machine for spitting out answers fast, but the people who are really getting the most out of it, they've flipped that whole idea on its head. They're not just looking for a shortcut, they're actually trying to build a stronger mind.
And that's the big question we're going to unpack today. This isn't really about finding the perfect prompt to get the perfect answer. It's about a much bigger shift, a shift in your entire relationship with this technology. See, the real upgrade isn't what you automate, it's how you think.
Okay, so to even begin to make this shift, we first have to reclaim our mental energy. And that all starts with understanding where to put in the effort, and maybe more importantly, where not to. This is what you might call the art of intelligent laziness.
So here's the problem we're all up against. Our brains are literally wired for a quick dopamine hit every time you finish something, anything, big or small. It's called completion bias, and it's a glitch that makes us treat a 5-minute email with the same sense of urgency as, say, a 5-year strategy. In fact, a Harvard Business Review study found that CEOs waste about 72% of their time on stuff that doesn't really move the needle. We're all just incredibly busy, but not necessarily effective.
This slide really breaks down the solution beautifully. It shows that not all work is created equal. Over on the left, you've got Zone 1 tasks. These have a capped payoff. Think formatting slides or writing an internal memo. After a certain point, putting in more effort gets you, well, nothing. This is where you need to be intelligently lazy. But then on the right, you have Zone 2 tasks with an uncapped payoff. This is the big stuff: product design, finding a co-founder, a key negotiation. Here, just a 1% improvement can have a massive exponential impact. This is your zone of obsession.
So how do we handle all that Zone 1 stuff? Well, we use this brilliant concept from Nobel laureate Herbert Simon: satisficing. It's just a mashup of satisfy and suffice. And the idea is really simple. For low-impact tasks, the goal isn't perfection. It's just completion. You just stop when it's good enough and you move on.
And here's how AI becomes your partner in all this satisficing. The DRAG framework gives you 4 categories of Zone 1 work that you can delegate right away. D is for drafting. Let AI conquer that scary blank page. R is for research. Let it summarize articles and pull out key info. A is for analysis. Have it hunt for patterns in data that you might have missed. And G is for grunt work. All the reformatting, translating, data cleaning. By literally dragging these tasks over to AI, you free up your mind for the really deep, important work in Zone 2.
All right, so once you've cleared out all the low-value work, the next level up is to elevate your whole dialogue with AI. It's really about graduating from being a simple prompter to becoming a thoughtful architect of your questions.
So this is a really crucial mental shift. For centuries, we've basically lived in Newton's world, right? A predictable clockwork universe. You put in A, you get out B, like a calculator. But AI, it's not a calculator, it's a probability engine. It lives in Heisenberg's cloud of possibilities. You can ask it the same question twice and get 2 totally different answers. It can be brilliant one second, confused the next, and it will happily just make things up. You can't command it, you have to guide it.
So climbing this intelligent hill really means mastering 4 different levels of interaction. Camp 1 is just one-shot prompting. You give it one clear example to follow. Camp 2 is few-shot prompting. You give it 3 or more examples so it can really learn your style. Camp 3 is chain of thought. You actually ask it to think step by step and show you its work. And then finally, Camp 4 is agents. This is where you create a whole team of AI specialists, a researcher, an analyst, a writer, all working together from a single prompt.
This metaphor just perfectly captures the relationship. AI has all this incredible potential, but it's unreliable. It's prone to wandering off. Your job is to be the designated driver, to architect the questions, put up the guardrails, and steer it toward a coherent, useful destination.
Okay, so you're delegating better, you're prompting smarter, you've removed all the friction, and most people would probably stop right there. But this is where the plot twist comes in. The top 1%, they deliberately slow things down and add the friction back in.
Think of it this way. AI can be a wheelchair for the mind.
If you rely on it for every single thought, your own cognitive muscles are just going to atrophy, kind of like an astronaut's muscles in zero gravity. But the alternative is to use AI as a spotter for the mind. In a gym, a spotter doesn't lift the weight for you, right? They stand by to help you lift heavier than you could on your own, making sure you grow stronger without getting hurt.
And that's really the core principle here. The goal isn't just speed. The goal is depth. Just like our physical muscles, our minds only grow stronger through resistance, by pushing against real challenges. Convenience leads to stagnation. Resistance leads to growth. The whole point is for AI to make you more thoughtful, not more passive.
So here's a super practical way to use AI as your spotter. It's called progressive overload quizzing. First, you study a concept on your own. Then you ask AI to quiz you, and you keep ramping up the difficulty. You start at level 1, explain this to me like I'm a high school student. Then level 2, like I'm a college student. Then level 3, grill me like it's an executive job interview. And finally level 4, challenge me like you're an irate boss who thinks I'm totally unprepared. This deliberate friction forges a really deep, resilient understanding.
We've covered frameworks, we've covered techniques, but this last step, it's the most crucial one. And it isn't about the tool at all. It's about your internal mindset. It's about finding the profound wisdom that comes from embracing what you don't know, what we'll call the genius of the fool. This is the fundamental barrier for all of us. We're often just too afraid to admit what we don't know, especially about the things we're supposed to know. Our ego gets in the way and stops us from asking the simple questions that lead to really profound understanding. But the smartest people, they're absolutely obsessed with what they don't know.
And this isn't just some philosophical idea. It has massive real-world impact. Take Microsoft. When Satya Nadella took over, the company was kind of stuck, trapped in this toxic culture of know-it-alls. He made one profound change. He shifted the entire culture to one of learn-it-alls, giving the smartest people in the room permission to just say, I don't know. And the result? The company's market cap grew 10x, from $300 billion to over $3 trillion.
The science completely backs this up. Neuroplasticity shows that our brains physically rewire themselves. But it only happens when we're at the very edge of our ability, when we're struggling, making mistakes, and feeling that discomfort. If you aren't feeling a little bit stupid, you aren't really learning. AI gives you this incredible, safe space to be a beginner again, to ask any question without any fear of judgment.
So I'll leave you with a challenge. What is one topic, just one thing in your field, that everyone around you assumes you understand that you secretly don't? Have the courage to play the fool. Go to an AI and ask it the most basic, simple questions you can think of. That simple act is the very first step toward true mastery.
This explainer was brought to you by AdamAiXpert. If these ideas resonated with you and you want to keep exploring them, they host a learning community all about AI every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's really a space to continue this whole journey of deeper thinking. You can join just by emailing AdamAiXpert@gmail.com.